copper seems to be the most exciting metal to talk about because it's also one of the most common metals that you're getting every day in the scrap world. And 2021 showed you that finding and knowing where copper is makes you more money. I mean, look at these copper prices this year. In 2021, we saw an incredible price surge with the markets hitting all-time record trading highs of $4.79. Now, yeah, we've seen about a 65-cent pullback from there, but for a little while it was really cool. We saw prices for Bear Bright $4, $4.10, $4.20 per pound. But that also led to big problems when it came to the theft side of things. It came to problems about scrapyards shipping things out and getting paid quickly. But overall, 2021 was a really good run for the copper markets. We saw the real good stabilization. We see the electric vehicle market becoming more and more prevalent. We see clean energy becoming more and more prevalent, charging stations, and these are all going to lead to more demand for copper. As the best conductor for electricity, copper is going to be continued to used in the electric motors for the wheels, the wiring for these electric cars, all of these different plants that are going to be putting in charging stations. Your own companies might be putting in charging stations needing more copper, leading to more scrap in the future. So 2021, really good year. We saw a lot of demand out there, and while other metals like aluminum might have had a little bit of a bigger percentage increase, the cost per pound for copper was so much higher that we saw great returns across 2021. Now, problems that we saw, it's like we're on repeat right now. Supply chains, shipping, exporting, importing, yada, 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 yada. But going into 2022, we're seeing more copper staying in the United States, but we also see China continuing to consume about 50% of the world's commodities. So when you see that much going to one place, it stinks because we're going to be so reliant on them, where they could affect the prices due to shutdowns, whether it's due to health reasons or due to political, economic reasons. All of these things in China will affect the copper market, and you're going to see it happen 2 or 3 times in 2022, where all of a sudden we're just going to see big price drops happening. We've seen it over the years, but it's becoming, as the prices go up more, when we have declines of 3%, well, if you have copper trading at $2, then you're only going to have a 6-cent decline. But if copper's trading at $4, you're going to see a 12-cent decline. Same percentage, but the price per pound is going to have a bigger drop, and you're going to start to see the markets changing in a way, and you're going to think that, oh my gosh, copper is down so much. But as long as you're selling a number 1, a number 2, a number 3, and you're selling it for something, for $3 then you really are in good shape in 2022. As long as we can see a stabilization of the copper market, we'll continue to see the prices moving forward in a really good way, and we expect the demand to continue for a long time, especially with this electric vehicle growth through so many auto manufacturers and dealers across the country and the world. The worldwide demand for copper is going to really kick in. Another thing to keep in mind when you're looking for the copper demand, a lot of other countries like India are bringing more and more people into and onto the grid, and that requires more electricity, that requires more wiring, more transformers, more power stations. So these are going to help lead to more people needing more copper at the same time. So it's going to continue to change. We've seen the plumbing industry change, going from copper pipe, market went up. PEX was created, where they have a lot of that plastic piping going into the houses. So while the copper was taken away from one industry, it was moved into a different industry, and as more electronics are going out there, whether it's iPads, phones, cars, new antennas for cell phone towers, these are going to continue to consume and demand more copper. It's not slowing down. The electricity and the internet boom are continuing to grow. And as we see it going into 2022, there will be supply chain disruptions. There will be major market moving shifts. We expect to see news coming out of China the first 3 or 4 months about their real estate market. If they have a really bad report on that, you could see copper prices dropping 30 or 40 cents in a matter of days. So there are a lot of factors that we're looking at that you can always tune in in weekly to read about what we're looking at and why things could be changing on the copper market. But overall, 2021, super strong year for copper. Going into next year, 2022, we expect the demand to continue, but we do not expect to see some crazy copper pricing per pound hitting $5 unless there's some crazy inflationary period, which is actually what we don't want. Copper hitting $5 means that a lot of our other costs are going to be going up, and the scrap that you're taking out probably aren't going to cover those costs. So let's just hope that copper stays at a very strong and steady level next year. Any other questions about the copper market or any other markets? Check out some of our other recap videos and talk to you then. Thanks for checking out our scrap videos. By becoming a Patreon supporter today, you'll be entered into monthly giveaways for tools and other products to help you make more money with your scrap.